Here's something nobody explains about your AI. When ChatGPT reads an image, it's not reading it the way it reads text. Text is words, clean, discrete, countable. But images? Images are a soup of decimal numbers. And forcing those two languages into the same brain is the single ugliest hack in all of AI. Until now. Because a team from Tencent and Tsinghua just taught images to speak in words. And the model that does it is 5 times smaller than the giant it beats. Stay with me, because the trick they found is genuinely beautiful. Let me make the mismatch visceral. Text tokens are like Lego bricks. Image tokens from Clip or Siglip are like handfuls of wet clay. A transformer has to shove them into the same room and pretend they're the same material. People try to fix this by quantizing images, turning the clay back into bricks. QLIP did it, Unitalk did it, but every single one hit the same wall. You optimize your bricks for understanding. You destroy the detail, so the model can't reconstruct the image. You optimize for reconstruction, you destroy the meaning, so the model can't answer questions. Nobody could do both. Every prior attempt scored around 30 out of 100 on understanding. 30, that's a coin flip with a headache. ViQ's insight: give every image patch a real vocabulary. A fixed dictionary of 64,000 visual words. Now an image isn't clay, it's a sentence, same species as text, but the genius move is the order of operations. Most teams try to build a dictionary and learn meaning at the same time. That's why their codebooks collapse. ViQ does it in 2 clean stages. Stage 1, learn to read. Take a Siglip encoder and align it hard against language, so every patch already understands what it's looking at. Stage 2, only now, once it gets the meaning, compress it into discrete words. Align first, discretize second. That sequencing is the whole ballgame. Here's the trick that's worth the whole paper. You can't jump straight from rich, continuous features into a dictionary. The gap is too violent. The model panics. So ViQ adds a warm-up step they call proximal representation. Before quantizing, it takes the features and squishes them onto the surface of a cube. Literally constrains every value to live between -1 and 1. That's it. The features arrive at the dictionary already shaped like dictionary entries, already quantization friendly. One warm-up layer. Plus 7.8 points of quality. That single move is the biggest performance lever in the entire design. 7.8 points from squishing things onto a cube. Now the dictionary itself. This is where ViQ throws out 40 years of textbook. The old way, VQ-VAE, learns its codebook from scratch. And learned codebooks are a nightmare. Entries die, entries drift. You need commitment losses, moving averages, constant babysitting just to keep the dictionary alive. ViQ says, no, our dictionary is fixed, just a grid of level sets. 64,000 words, every single one always reachable, nothing to train, nothing to break, no commitment loss, no dead codes. And the kicker. In their own ablation, this fixed, dumb, simple dictionary beats a learned codebook twice its size. 68.7 versus 66.5. Simplicity 1. So what does all this buy you? ViQ is a 1.3 billion parameter encoder. It went up against Intern VT, a 6 billion parameter monster, a continuous encoder with 4.5 times more parameters. And ViQ matched it. 57.2 to 57.0 on the full multimodal benchmark. The smaller, discrete, word-based model beat the bigger, continuous, float-based one. And against the other discrete encoders, it wasn't even close. Plus 24 points over Unitalk. Plus 27 over QLIP. Those old quantized models were basically broken for understanding. ViQ fixed the entire category. But here's the part that makes researchers lose their minds. Once your images are just words, you can pre-compute them, offline, once. You don't need the visual encoder in the training loop at all. Rip it out. For a 500 million parameter model at long context, forward passes get 78% faster. Step-level training, 40% faster. And as a bonus, those word codes compress an image 96 times with barely any loss. You are storing a high-quality photo in the same space as a JPEG, except these pixels still understand what they are. And remember the wall everyone hit? Understand or reconstruct, never both. ViQ does both. On image reconstruction, it hits the best fidelity score of any model that can also understand, 0.62 RFID. Unitalk can reconstruct a touch sharper, sure, but Unitalk scores 33 on understanding. ViQ scores 57. That is the gap. For the first time, the same discrete codes let a model answer questions about an image and rebuild that image from scratch. The trade-off is dead, so here's the takeaway. 1. Align with language first, discretize second. The order is everything. 2. A fixed dictionary beats a learned one. Stop babysitting your codebook. 3. Once images are words, you can cache them, compress them, and skip the encoder entirely. The multimodal AI you use today is translating between 2 languages. ViQ is teaching them the same one. Paper and code links are below. If this clicked, subscribe, because the next paper is even stranger.